check,
cuz
mic
on this
check.
podcast, I'm about to interview me real quick. I'm gonna as soon as I
Shit,
get done.
I just wanted to let you know they just fucking killed PNB Rock in LA, cuz.
PNB Rock in LA, nah.
Yeah, they just at Roscoe's can't get the jury up fast enough for the deep fried up.
Damn.
Videos on Word and Cali.
Alright, but I'm gonna hit you right after this.
He cried to PNB Rock, cuz.
That's crazy. You know, we was working with his brother PNB Mean. We did a couple projects with him.
That's right.
Alright, let me hit you back. Damn, PNB Rock. You don't know who PNB Rock is?
I own him like that. Yeah.
Let me show you his brother's videos.
You want to get off onto it right now? Whenever you're ready. That's crazy.
They not out. They not. The ones that I was.
Oh, you talking about you gonna show me them or something? All right. Let's get off into it, bro. Million Views Podcast, man. At the homie Hollywood Pompeii in here with me tonight, man. I'm host WilsonMillz. This is another episode of Million Views Podcast. Thank you for coming through.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
Last minute, I hit this man up. He was like, bet.
Yeah, what up, America? It's your boy Hollywood Pompeii, aka Pizzle Shizzle My Nizzle. And right now, it says when I drizzle, you dig. I had to throw that in there one time.
Yeah, man, for sure. I respect that. I'm feeling that. See, he was downstairs chopping it up, bro, and like already, don't want to use the word underestimate. You know what I'm saying? But the you know what I'm saying? It was a lot, and that was just us scratching the surface. You know what I'm saying? You know, blazing. But from the East Coast, from New York, born and raised. Right. Bring us to how you end up. First of all, Hollywood Pompeii. How you end up here. You know what I'm saying? And where your journey hit. You know, and we're gonna get off to the middle of all
that. So real quick, born in Brooklyn, born and raised in Coney Island. I'm an 80s baby.
Shout out to Coney Island.
Yeah, shout out Coney Island. Big shout out Coney Island. So yeah, and shout out my man Nems and shout out my man D Chambers out of Coney Island, man. They doing big things, putting Coney Island on the map. These are just some dudes that you know I just happen to have met along my journey that are from the same neighborhood that I'm from. We ain't grow up, we don't really know each other like that, but you know, we all acknowledge each other. We're from the same neighborhood. So yeah, I definitely want to shout them dudes out, see them working right now. They putting a lot of work in. So long story short, I was always a hip hop enthusiast and made a lot of noise in Brooklyn and on the hip hop scene in general. And that led into me working in the music industry for a while. So I did a few different things in the music industry prior to what I'm doing right now, including making music. So I had put a pause on that stuff for a little bit. I had hit some hurdles in life, you know, kind of going here, going there, messing around, keeping one foot out of into things and one foot out of things. So I wasn't really too focused on what I had going on professionally then, but I always maintained really good relationships. Yeah, really, really good relationships. Like I ain't never burned nobody in no office. Like everybody from the offices know me for doing good business. I know how to bring people money. You know what I mean? Like my referral game is crazy. I'm bringing people the bag all the time because that's how I'm eating. Right. I'm eating. You know, I might throw a little point or two back in the day when I ain't have no real resources or when I wasn't a plug. I'm just trying to connect the dots and you know trying to make a little bit of money, just like the streets. You add a point or two on a certain thing. So so that got me rubbing shoulders with the right people in the music industry for a while. So then I had beat a case in Pennsylvania and I needed to change my life. So I went on the road for a while with Boosie's Camp. Shout out Badass Music Syndicate.
Shout out to Badass Music, man.
So I was road managing a kid named Ant G, a mentor of mine at the time. His name is Carlos Brown. He's very well known in the music industry, put a lot of plays together. He was the one who got Ant G the deal with Boosie. and just kind of brought me in on the road management side because I was connected. I knew how to, I know how to make things look good. And
so that was your first legit gig in the business, you would say, road manager?
Yeah, that was probably it. That particular situation was probably like my first, like, legit titled gig or whatever. Prior to that, I always did a couple little things here and there. So we like I was telling you downstairs, we on the road. We come out to New Orleans and we hit Bourbon Street, and I met my wife on Bourbon Street. Prior to that, I was always traveling like different cities.
So I know what got you in the NO now.
Yeah, so I met my wife, and
you want to share that story?
Yeah, I don't mind sharing the story. I shared it.
That's some real shit, though.
Yeah, I shared it on a couple other blogs before. So what it was I had just beat a case. So now I'm on the road with Lil Boosie. I'm trying to go legit now, and I'm starting to build on my relationship with God at the time. You know what I mean? Like just really building on my relationship with God, because I felt a little lost when it came to my relationship with God. Like I knew who I was in the streets. I knew who I was to the people around me, and when it came to certain things in certain places, I knew who I was and I was comfortable with that. But I wasn't too comfortable with my relationship with God. So I started to build my relationship with God, and that's really because at the time I felt like I was being a bad parent. So I felt like I could become a better parent through building a stronger relationship with God.
That's a definite fact.
Yeah. So on building my relationship with God, I learned that it was all right to ask God for some things in return. Like, you know what, man, I need some things. Like,
and I need, if you don't know.
Right. So absolute. So when you a firm believer, God makes promises and keeps them. You know what I mean? So I made I was praying on certain things, and meeting somebody like my wife was one of those things. Like I asked that, that God present, exactly what I married into on the road for me. You know what I mean? Like, look, while I'm on the road, while I'm on this journey, doing this music thing, I need you to put it in front of me, but I need to know that this is it. Like when it comes, I need to know this is it.
Be real.
Yeah. And I was on the road, and wallahi, my hand to God, I was on the road for almost a year before that. And I ain't never touched no woman, talked to no woman, nothing. The first woman I decided to talk to on Bourbon Street 2 weeks after my final prayer on the situation happened to be the woman that I ended up marrying. And we got a great relationship, like a real good relationship. After I met her on Bourbon Street, every 2 weeks for about 6 months straight, she flew out to every single city I was in. And then whatever city I was at, boom, she was flying out. Right. So then finally it was like, you know what, let's make the move. I'm gonna come down to New Orleans, and we're gonna see what happens. And almost 4 years later, we're married, we're about to have a kid. So yeah, life is good.
It's a beautiful story, though. And like I say, that's a real situation, because like we could have been downstairs talking about anything. We both spoke on our pasts briefly, right. You know what I'm saying? But we got straight off into the building part, like right. the side of redemption, the side of coming out of the bullshit. You feel what I'm saying? But for record's sake, for like, you know what I'm saying, for my viewers, my listeners, you know what I'm saying, and yours, let's start at, you know what I'm saying, prior to Hollywood, Pompeii. You know what I'm saying? You're growing up. As much of it you want to talk about.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Because what you were telling me now is that kind of blew my mind.
Yeah. So there's certain things that we're saving for some situations that we got going on right now.
Okay, facts.
Regarding like, books, docuseries. Yeah, you got business in the right. Yeah, so we got some stuff going on. But but there are a lot of the things that I can touch on. So what were some of the things in particular downstairs that because it was a lot. I know we had spoke on a lot of things.
I mean, like just as far as like you say how you grew up, you grew up single parent household.
Yeah, so all right, yeah. So my upbringing
background, but they don't speak you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so that all of that stuff was that was real crazy. So I grew up in Brooklyn. I had 2 little brothers. Grew up with my mom, right? So this is what a lot of people don't realize. Like my situation, and I'll be so comfortable in my skin because, what doesn't kill you make you stronger. You know what I mean? So I've been through a lot of things. Like I see a lot of people. They be like, man, I've been through this, I've been through that. And when people really hear my story and hear what I've really been through, it's like, oh shit, like,
they be like that.
It's one of these situations. Like,
I wasn't expecting that much in the first few minutes.
So, but you ain't even really hear most of it. So this is what happened. So my mom, this is about me. I'm not even gonna make it. I got 2 little brothers, but this is about me real quick. So my mom was already pregnant with me when she met my brother's father. And that's whose last name I have. So that's how I got my last name. So when I told you I don't know my biological father, my mom was actually raped, and I don't know who my dad is, right? So what happened was my mom met my brother's father, right, when she was pregnant. I love my mom. She done been through so much shit. These niggas done fuck my mother over. All these niggas done fuck my mother over. My mom been through some shit. So my mom met this dude, charismatic dude, you know what I mean? It's my brother's father. Charismatic dude. She thinking, oh, you know, he gonna take care of me, whatever. He's like, yeah, we gonna tell people that's my baby. Don't worry about it. So that's whose last name I got. But they didn't change my last name to 2 years into their relationship when they had my brother. When they had my brother, that's when my name legally got changed. The government made a mistake because back then it wasn't all computerized how it is now. Everything was paperwork. So I had 2 social securities and 2 social security cards and 2 birth certificates with 2 different last names that were legal. One in 1985, one in 1987. You turned up. Yeah. So but that turned into something later on. We gotta talk about that. So that's get the book. When the book drop, I get into detail on how that shit saved my life. But anyway, but that was their mistake, not mine. Hey man, I was both those people legally.
That was God even in those moments.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, but so the dude ended up doing some real trifling shit to my mom. At the time back then, the world wasn't so comfortable with, like, you know, the whole LGBT community or whatever. So the dude was like DL, you know what I mean? Like, he was gay, and he used my mom so that his dad and his family didn't know that he was gay.
He's scamming.
Yeah, so he went and started a whole family with this woman, and he's living a double life. Jeez. So one day, me, my mom, my 2 baby brothers, we come home, and my mom catch my brother's pops with the dude. Yeah. So she ended up throwing him out the crib. So for about 2 years after that, my mom getting high, you know what I mean? Like, getting loaded, like, you know what I mean? Like,
that shit probably fucked her up.
Yeah, fucked up bad, because she was already getting high before that. It was the 80s. She was getting high because she watched her pops die when she was 16, right there in front of her. I mean, right there in front of her. So she was already getting high from shit like that. So the dude came, cleaned her up real quick to introduce her to the family and everything. Right. But then when he had ended up doing that to her, she relapsed. So now me and my brothers, we living in this house with my mom. She getting loaded, crack, niggas coming in and out. You know what's going on. You know, it's one of those cribs. But I give it to my mother, man. She finally one day, I don't know what hit her, you know. I think it was God, and said, man, you gotta get these kids out this crib. Like, you know, like you mess. Fucked up. Yeah, so she took us to the dude that she caught. She took us to his mother, you know what I mean, to my brother's grandmother, and she just left us with her. And then you could just imagine growing up in the 90s, you know what I mean, with everybody thinking this is your real pops growing up. You feel what I'm saying? They know your mom, the local drug, you know what I mean, crackhead, prostitute, whatever. Yeah, she know. But my mom clean now. My mom been clean for 20 years. You know what I mean? Like, God bless her. Yeah, God bless her. She in church and everything. She help other people. She a social worker. She do a lot.
Got a testimony.
Yeah, she got a real testimony. Real life testimony. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, so that's a little bit about my background. Like, and like I said, where we grew up at, during all of that, there was no Spanish, there was no black, there was no white. It was just one big ass project, and you was just as poor as the next nigga. Right. The only thing that we cared about was what sneakers you had on your feet. That's what made you different. That's what made you different.
The only thing that could make you different.
Because that meant your daddy getting some money that the project people don't know about, or that mean that somebody in your family getting some other kind of money other than what the government is being reported to, or whatever the case is. So you live a little bit different than everybody else. You got the North Faces while everybody else got the first down. So you get, you know, you that dude.
When did your thought process turn to, I gotta leave?
when I ain't gonna lie, they had raided my spot. I was about, I want to say like 19, 20 years old. I had got some real money, and then I had some kids didn't know what to do. I had some kids real early, and I crashed out and burned. I was getting high too. You know what I mean? Like I was getting loaded, all kinds of shit. I was a product of my environment and whatever the case. So I ended up in a homeless shelter early. I think I was like 18, 19 years old in a homeless shelter with 2 little girls and my baby mom at the time. And I'm just looking at everything around me, and I'm like, what is going on? Nigga? Like, you got 2 kids right there, 2 little girls, like, and you in a homeless shelter, and like, you know what your mom been through, like, so I'm having a real. That was the last time I ever in my life was ever that low. I never in my life ever got close to being that low. Like, low for me is like, I still got a few bands put away, and I can still shake if I need to. Like, I've never been that low in my life. So I was at real rock bottom, and we got up out of there. I started hustling to try to not head back to that place, and I end up catching a case.
Right.
They run up in my shit, and we end up so I ended up leaving New York because I went to Pennsylvania. I was 21, and then I just been moving around ever since.
So the move from New York, that was in the middle of that. That's when you caught the kids, huh?
Yeah.
So you moved from that. What inspires you? Like, what's your inspiration? Like, you know what I'm saying? You say you did music first, right?
Yeah.
You was rapping and shit like that first, right?
Yeah.
And then you took that bread, like you said, and
did
some other more shit, you know?
Yeah.
But at the same time, all that, like you told me downstairs, all that was a part of your growth process and a part of your story. Like you say, y'all gotta wait for the book to get the full story, you dig? But yeah, like what's your inspiration, bro? Like what drives you, dog? Obviously you have, you know, some kids.
Yeah,
and
the kids definitely inspire me, and just being great, man. Like I just always wanted to be great. You know what I mean? Like there was nobody great in my family, and that's real. Like there was nobody great, and I just wanted. I wanted to be great. I wanted somebody I wanted to be that person that people in my family look to. My wife will tell you she's sitting here with me right now. I go back home. I just went back home. I took a trip to New York. So I was like, you know, I spent a little bread on the family, but you know, I did it though. You know what I mean? Like I took my family out. I was like, come on, like cousins. You know what I mean? Not just my brothers or whatever. Like I hit my cousins up. Like, oh, come on, like you 16 years old. Come on, I'm gonna go introduce you to somebody famous. You gonna go shoot this video with me? Right. Yo, I'm gonna take you to woo.
That shit mad. That shit gonna change one night.
Yeah, and then I'm taking my big cut. You be with these kids all the time, man. Here's a couple dollars. Come on, we're gonna take them to Coney Island to the rides real quick. We're gonna go get some food, this, that. So I just wanted to be that for somebody.
Shit, that shit important. Somebody got to do that.
Somebody
like,
got to.
As often as possible, somebody got to do that. Right. But when they see, what was your name coming up? What they called you before you was?
My family called me Jay, and everybody in the streets called me Pest. Yeah, Pest.
So it make a bigger difference to see Pest.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Come back and able to fuck with us like this, opposed to,
right?
You know,
right?
You catch Pest at the road, leaving off the island. You know,
right?
It might get you an you don't even, you know.
Right.
So that make all the difference in the world, bro, because they remember you for both of them in this lifetime. You ain't somebody that they had to see on a TV or no shit like that. You know, you didn't brought it there, but you come from where they at. You know what I'm saying? You still could go where they at and get on that level with them and show them, like you say, little cuz, come on, man, we got to shoot these videos. Fuck with, you know what I'm saying, Fabio or somebody like that.
Exactly.
You feel what I'm saying, though? That's gonna make all the difference in the world for him. Because now he's thinking bigger.
Right.
No matter what he's thinking.
Right. He at
least thinking bigger.
Right.
You feel me? And that's the start. Though. That's the key.
I took my 12-year-old son to go shoot a video with me for Rob 49 and Kevin Gates. Like I had him on the set of Rob. He doing the lights.
How old?
12 years old. He doing the lights for Kevin Gates. Kevin Gates is, you know, sitting with him in the restaurant, talking, chopping it up with him. You know, giving him life experience.
That's something. His mind up.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
And then he ain't around no bullshit people. He around some people that actually using their mind up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's even bigger. We both said we was fans of it, or we was you know what I'm saying, students of the game. First, not to even say fans, but yeah, we're fans of it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But who is your favorite artist? Who's your favorite? You don't have to be a rapper.
No,
like just artist.
My favorite My favorite artist coming up, it changed recently. So coming up, it was Jim Jones. It was always Jim Jones for me. Like I was just always a big fan of Jim Jones. His entire lifestyle.
Shout out to Capo, man.
Yeah, his music, everything. Like I got some funny stories with Jim Jones. My man Fred the Godson. Rest in peace, Fred the Godson.
Yeah, Fred the God. The first time I seen him was on a movie. Go ahead.
Yeah, he introduced me to Jim Jones later on in life. You know what I mean? Because him and Jim were really good friends, and me and Fred were really good friends. So, but yeah, Jim Jones. Nowadays, Rowdy Rich. Yeah, and
Nice.
and Rowdy just inspires me to just be great. Like I'll be listening to Rowdy Rich early in the morning when I get my coffee, and I just get in my zone. Like I play like 20 minutes.
Something different. Yeah. If you sit there and listen to him, some people only catch singles, or they only like certain styles of songs and shit like that. But you sit there and listen to him from one to whatever.
Right.
You go. It's almost like, not to compare him to him, but it's almost like another Kendrick. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
That's how I be looking at it.
Yeah.
But I didn't expect so much substance from him.
Man, and that last album was great.
Listen to the beats and stuff he got, you don't be expecting that
the
type of
last
substance.
Album starts off like me and my cousin was just listening to it the other day. Like it's a whole minute of just piano composure. Right. Like it's just like.
You met him before?
Rowdy Rich?
Yeah.
One time at what's that place called? My cousin introduced me to him in New York. What's that big spot? BB King's? Yeah, I think it's called BB King. Yeah. I got some footage. I'll put it up on YouTube.
Who is the biggest artist you done worked with?
Big in terms of numbers, probably Lil Baby. But I don't work with a lot of really big artists. One of my favorite artists to work with was Casanova.
Casanova, I saw you shouting them out on one of your blogs, brother.
Yeah,
man. I mean, I don't know what to say about those situations.
That was one of my favorite artists to work with. It was good.
Why is that? The energy?
Yeah, so the thing with Cass is not afraid to put people that he fuck with in position. So he's not afraid if you really working to open up his pipeline of relationships and introduce, you know what I mean? So Cass will make sure to really put you in position if you're deserving of the position.
You're just a genuine cat.
Real genuine dude. So he introduced me to a lot of people, and the short time I was running around with him really took me to a whole another level.
I'm glad you said that short time. Like I said, was coming in here. I'm like, man, I'm thinking that you've been at this about 10 plus years. You know what I'm saying? And you told me, just a couple of years doing this, bro. I told you covered a lot of ground in a short period of time. Right. And like you say, you did that built on relationships. Where did you develop that skill? Like, that's a skill,
right?
You know what I'm saying? That maintaining relationships. It takes a lot of skill. Where did you get those skills from? How did you develop?
Having such a fucked up childhood. Bro. I'm only 5'7", so that means I was small growing up.
All right.
So I got tired of fighting. I was really with it though. I
had to learn how to get some understanding.
I had to learn how to get people that was going to punch you in the face 1,000 times if you even thought about looking at me funny. I got tired of putting my hands and feet on people and getting beat up. So I had to become valuable to the bullies.
Right.
And I did. I made myself very valuable to some very wild people.
Thanks.
And they took care of me and I took care of them. And I'm forever grateful.
Like I say though, bro, that's a skill that takes, you know what I'm saying? Right. Not only brains, but you gotta like you speak well and everything. Right. You gotta be able to talk. You gotta be able to, you know what I'm saying, put people in position.
Right.
I mean, at the end of the day, we laughing, but at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Though that just shows that you have good management skills. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate that.
This man like to punch on people. I'm gonna give him other people to punch on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Go get us some money. You know, everything will come to us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Go get us some money, man. Right. Come on, man. Let's go to the mall, get us some gear.
Right.
This, that, and the third. Okay, now this is your job.
Right. And my wife will tell you, like, some people be thinking that a lot of this stuff be made up, but she lived with me, so she knows. I done brought, there's a cousin of mine, I won't say his name. She laughing already. Dude did 22 and a half years in prison for something crazy.
Right.
You know what I mean? So his name is manslaughter, right? So
that's his man named manslaughter.
That's his name. That's what they call him.
You already know how you getting down.
So, but this is my real life cousin, and he done this in time. He's messed up. The prison system got him. So he come out of jail, and I'm like, yo, cuz, come down. I got you. You know what I mean? I'm gonna take yo, I'm gonna put you on. I try to put these dudes in position. So some of them it works for some of them.
Yeah.
Some of them
everybody ain't ready.
Yeah, everybody ain't. But I give everybody a shot. Everybody get a fair shot.
They deserve that. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they family and they solid.
Yeah.
What's been the biggest obstacle in the business? What's been your biggest win, like, or your biggest moment? In any order.
Yeah. So my biggest moment, I think, is right now, and that's my face card. Like, I got a face card right now and a real resume that just, I don't really got to say too much. If somebody does their homework, I don't got to convince anybody of anything. Like, what I've done speaks volumes. It's just a matter of now getting it out there. And I think one of the biggest obstacles was not losing hope and remaining consistent for so long. People think this shit happens overnight. I might have been doing the video stuff for the last 2-3 years, but I've been building this brand, Hollywood Pompeii.
Right.
You know, I could stop doing videos today, and if I become a surfer tomorrow, the people that have been following me for this long, they gonna be into that. They're gonna want to follow that, or at least be like, what this goofy ass nigga doing surfing, man. Like, I'm gonna have an interest, right? And I'm still gonna be able to. So it's just a brand, and I think a lot of people lose hope because they don't see it right away, and that was the hardest part. Because there was a couple times that I did give up, and I went back into the street. So I went back to this. So I feel like if I would have stayed consistent just a little bit more and I didn't give it those breaks, I probably would have happened a lot sooner for me.
Speaking of that in your business and stuff, bro, how did the connection with Dr. Ali?
All right. So
I just didn't want to mispronounce her.
Yeah, no, it's all love. Shout out to Mama Ali. I'm actually gonna be with Mama Ali in Chicago next week.
Shout out to Mama Ali, man.
We got some stuff going on, so I'm gonna be with her and somebody else real big. But y'all stay tuned to see. So so how that happened was,
that's what's up.
One of my cousins, who is real connected in the streets and in the music industry, helped Mama Ali with a couple projects. I got a lot of cousins that are real, you know. Anyway, he helped Mama Ali with a project, and after he had helped her with that project, they maintained a really good relationship, being all about relationships for years. And he did this for her when Muhammad Ali was still alive. So they maintained really good relationships, and she had ended up giving him 1 out of 10 world champion Muhammad Ali rings. She gave it to my cousin as a gift when Muhammad passed away. So I had seen Mama Ali, and I knew the story of my cousin and Mama Ali. I seen Mama Ali. I was with my wife. We were at an event. I was with Rojas on the beat. Shout out to Rojas on the beat. That's the dude that discovered this silent little pump. It was me. Yeah, it was me, him, and Freeway. Yeah, so me, him, and Freeway. We celebrity guest judges at this event, and Mama Ali was a guest speaker, but I didn't know she was going to be speaking at the event. I just knew I was going to be there with Freeway and Rojas. So when I see Mama Ali come, I tell my wife, I'm like, yo, I know that lady. All right. I'm like, no. Like, this lady knows my family, like, for real. I said, watch this. Watch what I do. She's with her security. Got it all on camera. She's with her security and everything. I call my cousin on the phone. I'm like, yo, I'm like 5 feet away from Mama Ali. He said, word, put her on the phone. That's my homie. Put her on. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna put her on the phone. So I walk up to Mama Ali, and I walk up to Mama Ali, and the security stopped me, and I look over. I'm like, yo, I got somebody on the phone want to talk to you. My hand to God. She leave. Man, this woman brave. She leaves security, but she make this face like, what? Somebody want to talk to me? So she leaves security. She grabs me, puts her arm around me, walks me outside the club. She walks me outside the club. She says, who you got on the phone? I said, I don't know. He said he your people though. Here, put. So it's my cousin. They start talking. They laughing. They cutting up. She grabs me. She hangs up the phone with him. She grabs me. She's like, yo, look, I'm gonna sign you to my company, and you family now. Like you one of us. Like, man. And it happened just like that.
Relationships, people.
Yeah, relationships.
Damn, bro. Yeah. Well, we in New Orleans, though, so I gotta ask you this: how you feel about the Saints?
Man, people gonna hate me for this, but I don't really watch football.
Well, I was about to say, don't say that.
No, I don't really watch
You're not into
football.
football. That's cool. That's a cool answer right there. You
Yeah,
fucking basketball? What about the Pelicans?
I
say you support one.
So no. I support the Pelicans. I support the Pelicans because there's two players that I really, really like off the Pelicans, right? And that's Zion and Alvarado.
So you just really don't follow sports?
I don't really. I never had time. I didn't have the luxury to sit there and watch sports. I had to get to it.
Shit to do.
Yeah, I had shit to do.
Coney Island, though.
I wanted to like
talk more about that.
Yeah,
though.
so I played sports when I was a kid. Never got into sports.
Never got off.
Yeah, so when I was a kid, I played football, played basketball, and I played handball. I'm from New York. We played handball. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah,
I only seen that shit on movies.
Yeah,
when Nori talk about that.
But I played sports. I just never really got into it though.
You was running the streets.
Yeah.
Okay. Other than music, because I understand you touched a little bit about transitioning off into other parts of the industry. You know what I'm saying? Other than music and videography, cinematography, as you would say.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What other involvement have you had in it?
So I've been involved in like executive production. So I've done executive production on a couple projects, music videos, songs. I've helped people get deals. So like through relationships, I meet a kid like, yo, you're pretty dope. I could take you to such and such.
Right.
There was a kid in the 9th Ward. I don't know if y'all was watching around that time when Casanova had came to New Orleans. I brought Casanova to New Orleans. This is right before that situation happened with him. But I brought Casanova to New Orleans. But before I brought him to New Orleans, there was a kid out the 9th Ward. Due to his privacy and things that he might have going on, I won't say his name right now, but I'll show you all his work. And a lot of people know it's public, whatever the case is. So, but I took the kid to New York, and the kid was fire. The kid could really, really, really spit, and he was one of the dopest acts that I seen in New Orleans while I was shooting videos. So I told the kid and his brother, I was like, yo, look, I think if I take you to Casanova, I just got a gut feeling. I think I can get you signed. So I brought him up there. I introduced the kid to somebody else, to an investor, and because I didn't have the money to bring the kid up to Cass and all of that stuff, but I believed in the kid, so I introduced him to somebody that had a little bit of bread.
Right.
The dude ended up putting up the bag for the kid, and we took the kid to Cass. Because of my relationship with Cass, we ended up getting the feature and the video for dirt cheap. But then while Cass is making the song, Cass pulls me aside and he's like, yo, all money aside, all everything aside, like, this kid's fire. I want to sign him, like, right now on the spot. They got the lawyers and everybody that same night. They got everybody to the office, and they signed the deal.
Right,
yeah.
Crazy.
I got it all documented, got the whole thing. Like,
that's gonna be in the book.
That's gonna be in the docuseries, yeah.
The docuseries.
Yeah.
I like the way you put that, dog. What don't you do?
I don't sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I noticed that. I wasn't expecting as fast of a response that you gave, dog. Like, everybody working. We all work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But obviously you be busy. You feel what I'm saying? So for you to be able to come slide through like that, I know that I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Number one.
I appreciate you.
Two,
I appreciate you guys having me.
You sitting in a room, right? You in a room, right?
Yeah.
You at a event or a show or whatever. You got up and coming artists in the room with you and a veteran in the room with you. What you saying?
So to the veteran artists, I remind them to keep an open mind and don't know too much, because the moment you know too much and you don't keep an open mind, right, that's when you're gonna lose grips. The reason why I feel that I'm able to boom as fast as I've done, as fast as I have, being really on the ground running. So like, I've been building relationships for the last 10 years in this industry, but you should be building relationships your whole life. So that didn't give me a head start. I really jumped into the actual, me doing this and that and what people see me doing right now for like the last 2-3 years. And I think what gives me the advantage is I know that these young dudes, they got it. And I know at any given time, they could shift the entire culture.
Right.
And it don't matter how I personally feel about the culture. It don't matter if I say, oh, DMX is hip hop. How dare you say Lil Yachty is the new face of hip? It don't matter that these youngins can shift the entire thing.
Right.
So I gotta understand them in order to understand where this thing that I love is going. Because I love this thing. So in order to really understand where this thing is going, I gotta understand the people that shift it, not where it came from as much. I gotta know that because that's where I came from too. If I don't know that, I'm lost. If I'm just now learning that, give it up.
Yeah, it ain't.
Yeah, I gotta be up to speed with what they doing.
Thanks, the future.
Right.
Shout out to Paint Two. That's what I be calling my son. My son rap. Paint Two.
Shout out.
I definitely wanted to link y'all two together, bro. Like, cause like I sit back, I pay attention to everything.
Right.
You're a small little dude. It'd be hard to find you sometimes on the blog, but I always notice that you always having a conversation to have a tip to it.
Right.
Every time I see you, so you know what I'm saying? You're having a conversation that you get to look at the demeanor of what's going on. Or most times you can hear what you're saying, and it's always building, it's always going forward. And that's the type of people we trying to gravitate towards and latch on to. How can people get with you?
Hit my DM. So I got this thing going on right now where for like the next year, every 30 days, I'm gonna change my phone number. Yeah. So
you're crazy like that?
No, but so this is the thing. I'm having trouble separating who to pick up the phone for because there's so many people calling me right now. When you reach a certain level of success, you got family that's reaching out, but like, come on, man, you ain't talked to me in 5 years, but now you want to talk to me about your kid's graduation and this and that. So I feel fucked up. I don't pick up the phone. So if I'm constantly changing my phone number, I can't pick you can't get a hold of me. You don't even know what number to hit me at anymore. So I don't gotta feel bad because you ain't got my number. so I'm gonna change my number. Yeah. If you get that number, you deserve to talk to me. If you could keep up and get that number, you deserve to speak to me. You deserve that. If not, but like
I'm not at that level yet. You know what I'm saying?
But for business purposes,
like a headache.
It's bro, I got 2 phones. You got I'm not gonna exaggerate. I'm gonna let her throw the number out. About how many phone calls do I get a day? Bro, there's only 24 hours in a day.
Right.
I still gotta I'm at that's what she's seeing.
Right.
I'm getting calls for 8 hours that I'm not with her.
Right. It's crazy, bro.
You know what I mean?
How do you balance everything?
I don't.
I always see you on the go.
I got a manager. My manager balances everything, and he works with my wife, who's my business partner, and they work together with my road manager.
They just tell you where to go, and you go.
Yep, and I don't even think anymore. I just get them the bag.
That's when business is good,
right?
You know what I'm saying? The team, everybody on point.
Yep,
you delivering.
That's
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. They delivering. Everything's working.
And then I just come up with mad wild ideas and I throw it on them and they got to figure it out because they know I'm going to turn it into some money.
Right.
So I piss them off like, yo, I got this idea, y'all. We about to, and they're like, oh man. But
figure that shit out.
Yeah. But we always turn it into some bread.
Into some money. That's what's up. At what point did you know or did you always know that I'm
Well, I always knew I was going to get money since I was a kid.
Not yes.
Right.
Talking about
Hollywood Pompeii.
Yeah.
After the last time I got into some trouble with the police.
Breaking point.
I had to because if I didn't, I would have been lying to my wife. And as a man, I gotta stand on who I say I am.
It's the point when you pick the iPhone up.
I had no choice. I had no choice.
Picked up the iPhone to make videos.
I had no choice. Yeah, I had no choice because if I wasn't making at least $50 a day, my rent $1,500. If I'm not making $50 a day, it'll get you $1,500 30 days. So if I'm not making at least $50 a day, I don't deserve to be talking to no female.
Right.
As a grown man with children,
right.
I don't deserve. If I can't do that legally, legit, I ain't got no place out here talking like I'm that dude with my chest all out. I don't got, and I be seeing a lot of dudes that shit. I'll be uncomfortable doing that.
Right.
That
type of shit drive you crazy.
Yeah. So I said, all right, $50 a day is the minimum. Let me shoot for like 200. I started landing around 100, 150 consistently, and then that shit just turned in the water.
Turn into water. So you don't do nothing but work, right? Okay, well, it's a family business,
right?
You know what I'm saying? So your kids incorporated in it?
Yeah, my kids are incorporated. As much as there's a lot of complications with that coming from the urban community.
I like the way you worded that. I mean, it's like that. You know what I'm saying? I got
the kids that rock with me. Yeah,
right.
I come. There's cycles of shit, man. And I'm working on breaking them cycles. But Rome wasn't built in a day. I made a lot of mistakes. I had kids early, so some of my kids feel certain ways about certain things. You know what I mean? And
which is fair.
Yeah, it is what it is.
It's like I say, it's about. I spent a lot of time in my life fucking up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I can tell you did because you be laughing at certain shit I say, but the way you laugh.
At one point in time, though, like, nigga really was getting bread, though.
Right.
But when real hard shit hit in life, you know what I'm saying? It always be at this time.
Man,
you feel
what you tell it?
So my shit did this, like the sled. Not for a while. This shit put me in a deep depression. Like, I went through some shit.
Yeah.
But, one day I'm on the phone. I'm in jail. I'm on the phone with my son, though, and they just clicking my head. You're not even giving it a good shot at it.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? You about to lay down, end up doing, 20, 30 years or some dumb shit like that. You got these two doing kids. And they just, they ain't the type of motherfuckers who need $1 million to,
they just need you.
They just need me.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? But I can't be out here doing nothing. I gotta get shit going.
Right.
So that's what it was for me. Like, it wasn't, of course you got to make money.
But until you figure it out, right, you get a little, because you know what you know.
I had to get some positive movement. Like, I had to get something going on that level. Like, I can go get, whatever on that side.
Right.
But what that shit gonna lead to.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Like I told you downstairs, that's the dilemma. That's the biggest.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man, like it could be that, or you could work and build this.
Right.
So when you told me, like, man, look, been building these relationships, it took this time to do that. Like that shit, like calmed me a little bit.
Right.
Like, okay, he is taking the proper steps.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need that reassurance or whatever.
Right.
You coming up the way you did, not having a lot of male role models, male figures in your life. You feel what I'm saying? How do you maintain the focus and still having to be the man of your situation?
So this is when I started realizing the power of money. You could really pay people to live life for you. For real.
Break that down. I want them to catch this.
Man, these Caucasian folk do it all the time.
Been doing it.
Yeah, you could pay people to live life, even like the most important parts of life for you. Like you don't see it's our people that raise their children because we they nannies and stuff like that. Like so when I realized, all right, I got a little bag, I could pay such and such to just go ahead and do that for me. I ain't really got to worry about that now. You know what I mean? Like
those hours freed up to do what you do.
Right. So I'm gonna take care of this over here. Babe, you need to go grocery shopping or whatever the case is. No, we got a little bit of bread. Let them just go shopping for us and whoop, whoop, whoop. So, and at first we was living outside of our means with it, but when that time, when you realize I could spend 2-3 hours in the grocery store to save the money, or I could make a minimum of $50 an hour for them 3 hours that I'm not in the grocery store.
Right.
Bet I'm gonna spend so it'd be a flip and we really be playing it like I'm like, yo, look, if we're gonna be lazy and not hit the grocery store and we're gonna order it on the phone, then the 3 hours we would have spent in the grocery store. Yeah, let me just sit back for this hour and a half. I'm gonna need your help on Instagram. I'm gonna run this promo. I'm gonna do these dollar story posts. I'm gonna do these little this or that or whatever. And now I done made $200 in that short period of time that I would have been shopping because I paid somebody to shop for me. You know what I mean? But I gotta want to make the money
Talk
off that
shit
time.
Hollywood, man.
You know what I mean? So it's just buying my time back to be able to make some more bread to buy more time. So finally, I got a system that pays for time on its own.
All right, before I let you get out of here, I gotta ask you about this.
Yeah.
Welcome to Hollywood.
Yeah.
First of all, how can people get with you to book their segments, or are you still running it?
Yeah, still running that. So there's a page that's set up for that. Welcome to Hollywood 22. You can hit the page. Like I said, hit the management, hit the road management, or DM me direct. And if I can't get to it, there's other people that you guys can hit up that can schedule this thing a lot faster. Because once I take your money, I still got to schedule it through them. Right. So y'all might as well get with the gatekeepers.
Them, right.
Yeah.
So that's a artist engagement thing.
So welcome to Hollywood. I got the idea. I seen so many of these microphones floating from the sky, and I seen people doing it, just as a trend. And I'm like, yo, you know what? This is a pretty dope trend. This is what I'm talking about. Knowing what the youth is doing and knowing what the right. So I see all these newer blogs and a lot of these younger artists utilizing that as a form of expression or to get their song out. So I'm like, it'll be dope if I did the same thing and not taking the idea that everybody else had by just, creating a mic that people are rapping on. But I know that people are really watching my platform. So it's really like an A&R situation. So it's like if the labels you don't really got to be in the streets now. Now you could just go to Welcome to Hollywood or go on my YouTube channel or go on my Instagram and see who I posted. There's already one girl that got an offer off of my page. And if you go on the reels and you go in the comments, you'll see a verified account made her offer right there on. And then another artist from New Orleans, he did the rep mic with me as well. And Jadakiss ended up, sliding in his DM off of it or whatever the case is.
Be real active on social media. I've been noticing that.
So so it's just it's an opportunity for artists to jump on a platform where there are real eyes and where there have been situations that have came out of, being on my platform.
Got a few artists, dog. I'm gonna shoot your way, dog. Shout out to Official with an A, bro. Shout out to Pint 2 Times. Shout out to Big Cheesy.
But this is what we do, man. Let's do a rep mic giveaway. So I'm gonna let you, however you want to run it. I'm gonna give away, one rep mic. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna let you run it however you want to run it, and then you just have the artist pull up on me, and that's on the house.
Yeah, I'm gonna run that on IG later on the day, dog. We'll figure that out. But they get a free. Welcome to Hollywood segment, you saying?
Yep.
All right, a free Hollywood segment. Welcome to Hollywood segment with Hollywood Pompeii, man. Thank you for coming through, dog. Appreciate
it. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you. Yes, sir.
Thank you for sliding on me, bro. Million Views Podcast, man. It's been another episode, man. I'm WilsonMillz, bro. Nice guest, dog, the man himself, Hollywood Pompeii.
Appreciate y'all for having me. Yep.
We out, man. Million Views. Appreciate you, brother.
Perfect the life vision. I got a million views. Different views, I'm perfecting life vision. All 10 toes got me traveling off the pivot. Taking shots in the full to the roof of the building. Abiding by the rule, the temp high, my metal skillet. I'ma make it, veins too real, don't do no faking. Born too many skills to not be building. Skyscrapers from the hood, too many kills can get your years, the strikes major. Mind gravitating the mills, I'm bag chasing. Barbecue family meals, that's congregating. Barbershop back on business, the way to make it. Practice more love than violence, the rule of nation. Big bang, put your kids on wealth engraving. Sky the limit, we taking spaceship. Every day Thanksgiving, Christmas, life amazing. Lonely nights, cold December, but God save me. Graduate street freezer, keep it silent as the pavement. Life, million views, got a million views. Yeah, I learned perfect life vision. I got a million views.